It is truly a pleasure to welcome you today for this important announcement. We are especially pleased to host the Premier of Ontario, the Minister of Colleges and University, and the Minister of Long-Term Care. We are also very pleased to have Maureen Adamson with us today, President of Colleges Ontario, along with our distinguished guests, sector partners, and members of our Humber community. At Humber, our mission is rooted in creating pathways that are inclusive, practical, and deeply connected to the needs of our community. As a polytechnic, we work closely with government, employers, and community partners to ensure that education is accessible and aligned with the realities of Ontario's labor market, especially in sectors essential to the well-being of Ontarians. The Learn and Earn Accelerated Personal Support Worker Program is a powerful example of that commitment in action. By enabling individuals already working in long-term care to upskill while continuing to earn a wage, the program removes financial barriers, supports career growth, strengthens workforce retention, and most importantly, ensures residents receive consistent, high-quality, compassionate care. This program is deeply meaningful to me personally. Having spent a large part of my career working in long-term care, I have a profound respect for personal support workers and every staff member who supports those residents each day. Their contributions form the heart of long-term care, and programs like Learn and Earn honor that commitment by investing in the people who make an extraordinary difference in the daily lives of individuals who call long-term care home. Today's gathering demonstrates what is possible when government and post-secondary institutions work together with a shared purpose. We are proud of the impact this program has had already, and we are grateful for the continued confidence placed in Humber to deliver results that matter. Strengthening long-term care takes partnership, purpose, and a commitment to the people who make these homes truly feel like home. The college system plays an essential role in preparing the workforce that provides this incredible, important work. It is now an honor for me to welcome Maureen Adamson, President and CEO of Colleges Ontario, to provide her remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. As mentioned, I'm President of Colleges Ontario and try my best to represent the 24 colleges across the province. Thank you for joining us today. What an important moment it is for Ontario long-term care workforce, one that strengthens care, expands training opportunities, supports frontline staff in rural and northern communities across the province, and is delivered through the college sector. I want to begin by recognizing and welcoming some very special guests today, starting with Premier Ford. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your leadership and continued commitment to Ontario colleges and Ontario's long-term care system. Minister Kusendova-Bashta and Minister Quinn, thank you both for being here very much and for your support of Ontario colleges as key partners in workforce development. And if I may say, Minister Quinn, you have been a remarkable leader for our sector, so thank you. Ontario long-term care workforce is the backbone of our healthcare system in the GTA, and also critical in some of our rural communities where remote access is tougher. But working together for a strong, sustainable, patient-focused system is what this is about. Today's announcement matters because it recognizes that it is about the people, not the programs, that are at the heart of long-term care. Investments like this are so important. Programs like Learn and Earn allow workers to advance their skills without leaving their communities, families, and homes. Ontario colleges are proud to be central to this work. Across the province, Ontario College delivers hands-on training that responds directly to workforce needs, scaling quickly, reaching communities where training is needed most, and producing job-ready graduates. This investment is so important to the long-term care workforce pipeline. On behalf of all of Ontario colleges, I want to thank the Government of Ontario for this announcement and investment, and for your continued commitment to supporting colleges as drivers of workforce development and essential services that communities across Ontario depend on. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen, for those kind words. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here at Humber Polytechnic. Even though she can't be here today, thank you, President Vaughan, for hosting us. Since taking office, our government has been laser-focused on strengthening Ontario's healthcare system. And we know that it will take one of the most ambitious workforce expansions in the province's history to do so. Because protecting Ontario is not just about protecting our loved ones, our communities, and our livelihoods today, but it's about securing what matters most for Ontario tomorrow. That's why we are building a system that can face whatever comes our way. And that starts right here with our healthcare students. Since taking office, we've been leading the largest medical school expansion in over a decade to educate nearly 900 more doctors. And last summer, I announced an investment of $57 million to train 2,200 more nurses for communities all across Ontario. And just last month, we celebrated 2 new programs being added to the Learn and Stay grant, which fully covers tuition and direct educational costs for nursing, paramedic, and medical laboratory students who commit to working in high-need areas of the province after graduation. Since the program's inception, we've provided $171 million to support thousands of future healthcare workers across all of Ontario. And with each of these investments, and the many more like it, our government is ensuring we have the highly skilled, compassionate healthcare workers Ontario's families and communities depend on. Which brings us to today. In a moment, I'll turn it over to Minister Kusendova-Bashta to share more details in her diligent work to expand our long-term care workforce, a critical part of Ontario's healthcare system. But before I do, I want to take a moment to thank our incredible universities, Indigenous institutes, and colleges, like Humber, for their dedication to building a robust talent pipeline for our province. Together, we're building Ontario's health, Ontario's prosperity, and Ontario's greatest competitive asset, our highly skilled workforce. Thank you, and I now invite Minister Kusendova-Bashta up to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Minister Quinn. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing today? It's great to be here at my alma mater, Humber Polytechnic, for today's announcement, which in many ways feels like a true homecoming for me. Humber Polytechnic is a great community partner and host, and I'm so glad to be here today with Maureen Adamson for Colleges Ontario, of course the best boss and best premier, Premier Ford, my colleague Minister Quinn, and the leadership of Humber Polytechnic. I'd also like to take this time to recognize Sean Cherry from Advantage, Donna Duncan from the LTC, and Trevor Lee from the Health and Supportive Care Providers Oversight Authority, who are also with us. Thank you all for being here for this incredible celebration. As Minister of Long-Term Care, I can tell you that the long-term care file is one of the utmost importance to me, our government, and definitely this Premier. And the approach that we are taking to long-term care is making a real, tangible difference across communities of Ontario. Over the past 4 years, our government, led by Premier Ford, has invested billions with a B, to create thousands of new positions for personal support workers, nurses, and other healthcare professionals. And thanks to our plan, Ontario's long-term care residents now receive an average of over an hour more of daily direct care than residents did just a year ago. Yes, we have met our direct hour of care targets of 4 hours. But we always know that there is more work to do. And as Minister Quinn mentioned, back in August, we announced an expansion for nursing seats in nursing programs across the province, which of course Humber was a beneficiary. And I was so proud to stand there as a registered nurse myself with my colleagues to make that announcement. Humber has an excellent, I have to say, excellent nursing program, and I can attest to that from personal experience, as I had the opportunity to do my postgraduate diploma here in emergency nursing. The Premier and I had the opportunity to tour the Humber Sim Lab and speak to nursing students a few years ago, and I can say that it is thanks to the advocacy by Humber and others that this government granted colleges the ability to host standalone nursing baccalaureate programs. And this past November, I announced new investments of $180 million to launch new programs to attract and retain close to 8,000 highly skilled nurses. So please, if any of you know any nurses or PSWs that are looking for work, you can tell them that long-term care is hiring. But today, we're here to talk about PSWs. And as a nurse, I can tell you that I've had the privilege of working with many, many incredible PSWs. They are a great source of knowledge, skill, advice, mentorship, and definitely compassion wherever they work. As a novice nurse, I relied on their mentorship and guidance very, very often. That's why today, I'm so pleased to be celebrating our government's next steps to continue improving Ontario's long-term care system by helping PSWs advance their careers while at the same time bringing enhanced care to residents. All of what we do as a government goes back to what I said about ensuring Ontario's most vulnerable people are getting the best quality of care they need and deserve. I'd like to thank Humber Polytechnic once again for hosting us today for this important announcement. And now it's my privilege to turn it to the best Premier Ontario's ever known, Premier Ford, to celebrate with us.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and Natalia, you're a champion. See, guys, if you graduate from here and you serve the people of Ontario, you might be a minister one day. It's amazing what happens here at Humber, or you might even be a premier one day. I didn't last as long as you did, Natalia. So, but what I just want to thank Natalia for all your great work, and it's a pleasure to be here alongside Nolan Quinn. Nolan, thank you for everything you're doing. One of my champions, Maureen. You've been such a leader representing 24 colleges. And I'll tell you, I have a soft spot in my heart for colleges, hardworking folks, and I just want to thank everyone within that sector. I also want to thank Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer and Lucas and everyone at Humber for welcoming us today. Do you know who I love? I love Anne-Marie Vaughan. She's a true leader, president and CEO of Humber College, thinks outside the box. That's what I love about Anne-Marie. And there's no wall that she won't break down to make sure that Humber continues to be not only the largest, but one of the most successful colleges in the entire country. Folks, before we get into the details about today's announcement, I just want to address a couple things. I always say the foundation of our post-secondary education, our infrastructure, our health care. The foundation of that is one thing, and that's our economy. That's what helps us pay for everything. So I'm just going to address a couple things, and then I'm going to go back to our great announcement and why we're here today. I want to address the auto strategy that Prime Minister Carney and the federal government announced today. Today's announcement comes as President Trump continues to take aim at Ontario workers. He's doing everything he can to move Canadian auto jobs south of the border and put Canadian workers out of a job. That's why it's more important than ever that we come together as a united Team Canada, working together with industry, with labor unions, with colleges, because I know a lot of folks end up in the auto sector after going to college and university, and the federal government as well, to fight for every auto worker in Ontario and across Canada. We need to make our auto sector more competitive. We need to attract new investments to build more vehicles in Canada. And we need to create good-paying auto jobs on factory floors across the province. With this in mind, I'm pleased to welcome and support the federal government's new auto strategy. We have been urging the federal government to end their electric vehicle mandate, which makes our auto sector less competitive, undermines investments, and threatens jobs. Of course, we continue to support the manufacturing of electric vehicles right here in Ontario as part of the record $46 billion investments that we made attracted to the province over the past several years. But we do not support government mandates that make our auto sector less competitive and less able to attract investment and create jobs. Today's announcement will directly support workers here in Ontario and across Canada by helping our auto sector meet demand and compete on a level playing field with everyone else in the world. I also want to welcome the new federal funding for investments in auto and auto parts companies, as well as job training and charging infrastructure, which complements the investments Ontario is already making in these sectors. This is a pivotal moment for Canada. Our economy and sovereignty are under attack. We're going to keep working as a united, strong Team Canada to protect our workers, protect their jobs and their communities, our businesses. Ontario's auto industry has been at the heart of our economy for 100 years, and we're going to make sure it will continue to be for the next 100 years. That's why we're going to keep delivering on our plan to protect Ontario. It's a plan to build an economy that is more competitive, more resilient, more self-reliant, so we can stand up to tariffs, economic uncertainty, and anything else that comes our way. We're cutting red tape, keeping taxes and fees low, and helping workers keep more of their hard-earned money. We're doubling down on our more than $223 billion plan to build, which is the largest plan of its kind in Canadian history, investing in highways, transit, education, health, and long-term care to protect communities, to create jobs and grow Ontario's economy so we have the revenues we need to invest back into the services that Ontario families rely on. These services include support for our seniors so they can access the quality care they need and deserve. That's why we're investing $1.1 billion over 3 years to extend home care services to thousands more patients every year, helping them connect with nurses, physiotherapists, and social workers so they can age safely at home. To support seniors in long-term care, we are investing $6.4 billion to build 58,000 new and upgraded homes in long-term care for Ontario seniors across the province. We're also investing $4.9 billion in our long-term care staffing plan, which has already helped to add more than 16,000 PSWs and nurses to our province's workforce. To build on this momentum, I'm proud to announce today that as part of our PSW Learn and Earn program, our government is investing over $21 million to expand training programs for 660 staff at long-term care homes. This program, offered by Humber, provides participants full-time online coursework followed by a paid clinical placement, allowing workers to build their skills, advance in their careers, and earn more take-home pay, all without leaving their communities. In addition, we're launching a new Learn and Earn pilot program that will train 40 current PSWs to become registered practical nurses. Our investments are producing real results. Last year, our government surpassed our target of an average of 4 hours of daily direct care for residents from nurses and personal support workers for the first time. Long-term care home residents in Ontario are now receiving more than an hour of additional daily direct care than they were 5 years ago. That's 36% equivalent to 15 days of additional care per resident per year. Once again, I want to say thank you to the faculty and the students here at Humber and to colleges and universities across the province who are preparing the next generation of leaders. Now, my great minister, Natalia, told me there's an incentive program, and you have this down pat. So can I call you back up? Because we have to attract more PSWs, more nurses. But I'll tell you, this is a super attractive agreement if you come on board and you get trained as a PSW or a nurse. So I'll hand it over to you, Natalia, and tell them how we're rolling out the money.
Thank you so much, Premier. So as I say everywhere I go, long-term care is hiring. So if you are a PSW or a nurse looking for work and you want to join long-term care, please do so now. For PSWs, we have a $10,000 incentive if they commit to working in long-term care for 1 year. For nurses, we have a $25,000 incentive if they commit to working in long-term care for 2 years. When I say nurse, it means a registered practical nurse, a registered nurse, or even a nurse practitioner. So that's a $25,000 incentive. We also have a $10,000 relocation grant for those who want to work in our northern and remote communities for relocation, as well as a $10,000 bonus just for working in the north. So if you're a nurse, you can earn up to $45,000 additional income. If you're a PSW, you can earn up to $30,000 additional income. So like I said, long-term care is the place to be. Thank you.
That was good. That's some pretty good cash there. That's good. Okay. Okay, that's fair enough.